All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to the presentation. I was just having a good time putting the fun-filled, exciting. I'm not crying. I promise you, I'm not crying. But I'm not crying. I'm a manly man because I had to put some of the eye drops in my eyes. Just stupid weather. Just the other day in Kentucky, we had 60-degree weather. Now we're talking about snow. Come on. I think Mother Nature is a little bit cuckoo. I'm just saying. All right, everybody. Hello, and how are you doing? I'm Bishop James Long, and I want to thank you so much for being here on this beautiful, beautiful Friday. It is Happy Friday, and I hope you've had a great week, and I hope that you're having a good day. Today is Paranormal Friday, where we talk about anything and everything paranormal related, and we have lots of things to talk about tonight. We're going to have a very interesting show, but before that, I've got to talk about the business aspects, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the presentation. All right, first of all, I want you to make sure you do this, and make sure you do it. Go to kgradb.com, kgradb.com, and I want you to check the site out, folks. Just do yourself a favor, check it out, and you're going to love it because they have all kinds of paranormal shows. And believe it or not, my show's on there. They even put my show. Can you believe? I don't know what they're thinking, but anyway, they said, okay, Bishop, we'll put your show on there too. I don't know. I don't know what Mr. Producer is thinking, but anyway, they said, yep. And look, all kidding aside, they have some great shows there, some fantastic paranormal shows. But when you subscribe, make sure you put Bishop in your promo code. Why? Because you're going to get 30% off your subscription. It's already cheap. It's already very inexpensive, but it's going to save you a little bit of money. And if you can save some money today, you need to do it. Again, kgradb.com. Now, also, I want to remind you, you can go to my website, bishopjameslong.com. So if you want to know who I am, just simply go there. Now, I want to let you guys know, I do have an online store. Mr. Producer, I put something just new on there today, and I want to show this to everybody. This is brand new that I just put up. Someone was asking me about this because I used to have this, and it's so hard to find them, and you find them for like $55-$60. They're just too expensive. Well, of course, now I found one for a lot more affordable. So these are really, really beautiful. I like these. I will personally bless these for you for free as a courtesy. You can't buy blessed items. That's simony. So if these are up, I don't have a whole lot of them, but I bought some more. So I do have these. There's a cross here. There is incense. There's oil. There's holy water from the Jordan, or water from Jordan, and soil from Jerusalem. And so if you want to purchase theirs, you can certainly purchase yours today if you like. I don't know why people call me this. And then you can kind of go from there. So it's on that. That's online at the store link. Also, don't forget, if you want a Benedictine necklace, this is mine. That's the one that I have. And this was really, really pretty. So that is available there. Yep, Mr. Producer is showing to you guys. So there it is, this. And of course, the Benedictine bracelet's available. You know the Benedictine bracelet. You've seen that. And this is another one that I have. A lot of people like this one. The Benedictine, it has on both sides. And so some people just prefer this one. But I like both of them, quite honestly. But anyway, you can go to the store. Just go to bishopjameslong.com, click on the store link, and there you go. Also, if you want to learn about demonology and paranormal studies and genealogy and angelology, folks, I teach it online. You learn at your own pace. It's 100% online. So just simply go to bishopjameslong.com and click on the paranormal, the class link. That's it. Click on the class link, and it takes you right there. It's all online, but you got to make sure you follow the instructions because it's for private Facebook groups, and I send you the group invitations, and there you go. Okay, so I don't have any items for pets, but that's a good idea. But I don't have any right now. Now, of course, here's the deal. I'm the type of person that if you send me something in the mail and say, "Hey, Bishop Long, would you bless a dog collar for me?" Look, I love pets, and I don't care if people, I can't believe you blessed the dog collar. Well, I didn't ask you. So if you want me to, if you have an item that you place on your pet, because for me, my pets are God love them. They're resting in heaven, but they were my kids. So if you have something and you want me to do that, I will absolutely I will be more than happy to do. Yeah, yeah. St. Francis will be a really great. That's a good point. And also, I want you to go to the church's website. Everybody asked me about. Huge fan from UK. Well, hello there, Joanna. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody being here. So if you want to go to the church's website, usocc.org. Okay, that's it. usocc.org. Oh, Dallas, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It is. And finally, if you night prayers tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mr. Producer put that link there. You can go to my website. So if you want to go to night prayer, we pray it Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. Everyone is invited. So it's simple. Just go to bishopjameslong.com. Scroll down to the very bottom and you'll see the night prayer picture. Click it and boom, it takes you right there. So yeah, I'm working on the St. Michael stuff. I used to have a lot of those things, but they're very hard to find and they're very expensive. And people, I can't. You have to understand. I buy the things in advance, and then if people want to purchase them, they can. But I'm limited on what I'm able to buy because I buy them and then I wait for them to arrive. And I don't want you to have to wait, but I can't have a massive store, stock full of stuff because I don't have a store. I just have my own little place that I have. And so that's the problem with those things. Now, people have asked me, hey, Bishop, a lot of people have asked me about this. And these have been hard to find, but I do have these again. So if you want to, go to bishopjameslong.com, click on the store, and then I'll send that to you. And those are pretty cool. I actually like those a lot. They have oil, and those are not blessed, but I always bless them as a courtesy, as a way of saying thank you for supporting the ministry. I want to remind you that on my TikTok, for those of you on TikTok, I do have now under my profile a link for Linktree. If you click that, it'll take you to all my social media outlets and all that other stuff. So just kind of go from there. Oh, hi, Bishop, hypocrite. Well, okay. So I'm already a hypocrite, even though I've done nothing. All right, let me just block that moron. Let me just explain. I want to say something that I appreciate. Well, great. You're a priest and never ask for money. That's fantastic. And maybe next time, why don't you do me a favor? When I have a case and I have to spend $1,000 of my own money, do me a favor and sponsor that trip. Okay, you do that, and then I'll never have to sell. I'll never have to have a store. I won't have to have an online. So do that. I've said that before. It's funny that the trolls always say something like that, but they never ever sponsor a trip. Meaning that when a family contacts me and says, I need your help, and I'm in Texas, or I'm in California, or I'm in Florida, or I'm in New York, and then I have to get on a plane, and then I have to buy the plane ticket, and then I have to get the hotel, and then I have to get a car, and I'm spending $1,200 to get there, maybe $1,500, depending on how much it costs. It's interesting that the trolls never once do they ever sponsor a trip. Let that sink in for just one moment. They love to criticize, don't they? Put up or shut up. You see, that's how I live my life. You put up or you shut up. If you're going to I'll troll and all this other stuff because you think it gets under my skin. Okay. Oh, you're very important. I would hate to. Anyway, but it's interesting. They never, ever, ever, never do they sponsor a trip. And I'll be happy. I'll give them all the receipts. I'll give you all the receipts to everything that it cost. And then when you get a bill for $1,300, then maybe you won't troll anymore. Yeah, I knew Lorraine. Let me give you a little hint on something. And I think all of you need to listen to this very carefully, okay? People say to me, how do you keep your calm with these trolls and the haters? How do you keep your calm? Well, let me just say this to the trolls, because TikTok is really bad with trolls. Trolls, let me say something to you. You're not going to get under my skin. You're not going to get me irritated. You're not going to make me angry. You're not going to make me cuss. You're not going to make me yell at you. you're wasting your time. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're trying to get attention, the only attention that you're going to get here is blocked by the moderators, because I won't scream at you. I won't cuss you out. You're not going to see me get flushed. I won't even pay attention. It'll be just like this. I won't even acknowledge. You see how that works? So if you're going to troll, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Let me share some wisdom. Okay, let me just share some wisdom for all of you, because a lot of people ask me, well, I'll get your questions in a moment. They say, how do you deal with the trolls? I mean, doesn't it get you down? Doesn't it make you mad? Let me explain it to you. This is how you deal. I want you to think of it like this. Believe me, I've been called everything but my name online for many years. People have called me everything but James. But let me put it this way. If someone has a gift for you, and they give you the gift of negativity, but you don't want that gift, then who does the gift belong to? That gift of negativity belongs to the person who tried to forcefully give it to you. So if I try to give you the gift of negativity, and you don't want that gift of negativity, then who does the gift belong to? It belongs to the person who is giving it. So when someone shares with me the gift of negativity, I simply say, no, thank you. You can take that gift back and bring it home and share it with your friends and family, because I don't want it and I won't receive it. That, my dear friends, is how you deal with trolls. That's how you deal with bullies. You don't accept the gift and you move on. You you need to be careful. You need to know who you are, and be careful and not to allow people to try to get under your skin, because for some reason people think I don't understand this. And I'll get to the paranormal stuff in a minute. The paranormal is going to wait until I'm ready. But what's frightening to me, what's even more frightening to me than possession, is that there are people that are so vicious, that are so cruel, that are mean-spirited, and they love to try to tear people down because they get a laugh out of it. They enjoy it. You see, that's the perfect definition of sadistic. That's a sadistic person that likes to harm other people, that actually enjoys harming people. That's sadism. And so for me, I don't allow that person to project their issues onto me. I just simply don't. And neither should you. And you have to remember that people who like to harm or try to hurt people, they're doing the work of the devil. They are being played like a little puppet. And so that's frightening to me, how rampant it is online. It's pretty serious, isn't it? I mean, so some of you probably have been the victims of bullying and trolls. Don't let them get you down, okay? Don't let anyone try to define you. Don't allow it. Either you're going to accept that gift of negativity, or you're going to say, no, thank you. I don't accept it. And that's it. Don't allow someone to define you as a person. Don't allow someone to try to discredit you. Don't allow someone to try to call. I've said this a million times. Just because someone calls you a dog doesn't mean you have to bark. Okay? Remember that. You are unique. You are different because God made you different. Stand out, be proud, be who you are. And if someone has a problem with that, then they need to speak to their therapist, because you don't have office hours today. Okay? All right. So there we go. So trolls, arrivederci. Now, tonight is going to be a fun, it's a really exciting, interesting night. People, and I say this because clergy, believe it or not, clergy has, well, thank you for the, well, thank you for, the claws came out with the cat. The clergy have called me everything but Bishop Long. I mean, my other clergy members have said some pretty nasty things about me behind my back, and even not knowing to my face, because then they would know that I would explain to them how they're wrong in a pastoral way after I took my collar off. But I have been, other clergy members have said all kinds of nasty things behind my back because I'm involved in the paranormal. You have to remember, 20 years ago, 2 decades ago, when I went public with my ministry, there was no Catholic clergy helping the paranormal community. There was none. I was there. I was there. I saw it. And when I went public with my ministry, that's when Ghost Adventures contacted me, History, National Geographic, all these channels were calling me because it was unique. But all I was doing was following the path that God called me to do. That's all I was doing. I was just being me. And so you have to be yourself. Don't allow someone to restrict you. And if someone doesn't like the fact that I love the paranormal, I don't care. I don't care. Because I do. I love the paranormal community. I will continue to help serving the paranormal community. And again, I don't seek anyone's permission, because I know what I do, and I know what how I help people. Tonight, we are going to have a conversation about some very, very interesting evidence that I have captured through the years. Now, I'm going to tell you straightforward, and because I have to, and so no one can use this against me. As I said on TikTok, this show really is not for children. There's going to be some EVPs that I'm going to be playing tonight that are very intense. EVP stands for electronic voice phenomenon. And you have a digital recorder. Is anyone here? Can you make a noise? What is your name? Whatever it might be. And then you play it back, and you have recorded evidence. So there are going to be some sound bites that we're going to play tonight from that I've captured, and not only that I've captured, but also throughout history. Tonight, you're actually going to hear a no, I don't have, it's not an 18 plus. It's not an 18 plus. That's just me saying, hey, look, you just need to be aware. Now, of course, these days, I mean, parents are letting their kids watch scary movies, and scary movies are I mean, they're pretty terrible. But I'm letting you know now, right now, before we do it, before we proceed, if you're dealing with a demonic issue, then you should not watch the show. If you are susceptible to heavy things of this nature, then you need to consider maybe this is not the right show for you. Again, there's nothing that's no vulgarity. That I don't believe. We're not doing vulgar stuff here. So it's not like that type of show. It's just intense. That's all. You will be hearing some sound bites from Anneliese Mikel. Now, Anneliese Mikel, Emily Rose, the exorcism of Emily Rose. So you'll actually hear some sound bites. There are some sound bites that are throwing around online, but they're fake. I have the entire recording, the many, many recordings of the Anneliese Mikel, her exorcisms. And tonight you're going to hear a couple sound bites that are pretty intense. You will also hear some sound bites of cases that I worked. Also, from the Ghost Adventures, when I was on Bobby Mackey's, I had my own digital recorder, And I'm going to be playing some EVPs that was captured. Again, some of these EVPs are not scary at all, but some of them are. And so there we go. All right. So for those of you who are tapping on TikTok, thank you very much. For those of you who have just subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Moderators, thank you for being here. People ask me all the time. People are slamming me with questions already on Messenger. Remember, TikTok, you guys don't get to see. You guys are not seeing all the questions. Same thing for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm getting slammed with questions on Messenger. People are asking, well, why are you doing this then? Why am I doing this? You shouldn't be doing this. I'm doing this for educational purposes because people need to know that this stuff is real, that is not make-believe. And folks, we have until 9 o'clock. So we're not rushing through this. So just calm down with, okay, play it. Just sit back, relax, and leave the driving to me. Because you don't see the comments that I'm getting right now. I do. And so I'm going to address this issue. I am doing this because it needs to be taught. It needs to be, and you need to know that what is fantasy and what is real. And tonight you're going to hear a couple things that are quite intense. Okay? Yeah, that's right, Hetty. Exactly. Chill, people, chill. So, all right. Let's get started with a couple of things. Again, there's no rush. We're here until 9 o'clock, or actually 8:50. So we got plenty of time. And I'm going to get into your questions. I'll get to your questions periodically through the show. So that won't be a problem at all. And you should, look, someone said, I'm scared of the devil. I don't know who said that. But let me just say this to you, whoever said that. The devil is scared of you. Please understand that. The devil is terrified of you because you're created in the image of God. The devil is not. And the moment you begin to pray is the moment the devil trembles in fear. So do not fear the devil. Do not fear its minions, its demons. They should fear you. Now, that's not to say you should, in fact, respect the dangers that come along with demonology and possession. But what you don't do is seek them out. That's what you don't do. All right. How do we know if you're possessed? You won't, because if you're actually possessed, that's a good question. How do we know if you're possessed? You actually don't. Through even the Roman Catholic history of possession, people who were possessed did not know that they were possessed. Well, thank you very much for that, for subscribing. People who were possessed did not know. It's like it's a catatonic state, almost like a coma. But what they do remember is what led up to possession. They remember that, the stages, and that is understandable. But as far as the possessed state, it's almost as if their consciousness goes to sleep. And they don't remember what they do. They don't remember what they say. They do not remember the stage of possession. Did the demons make me lose weight? No. I made myself lose weight. So, okay. So the first one is very interesting. I'm to start with a couple ones that are not scary. And it was a weird EVP that I captured, and it's Tegos Ye Asadi, which is a Hindi. And okay, hush. It's Tegos Ye Asadi, and I have no idea what that meant. We narrowed it down to Hindi as far as the language, but as far as the what it means, I don't know. So if any of you speak Hindi, maybe you could tell us. So this is one of the first EVPs that I captured. It was not it was not a demonic case, but there was a lot of activity in this home, a lot of activity. There were noises, bangings, lights flickering off and on. A couple items were moved, nothing heavy, just items that were just simply pushed around. And so the family then contacted us, and we go in. Did somebody just ask you if demons made you right? Yeah. Someone asked me if the demons made me lose weight. No, actually, they did. Actually, it was not the demons that made me lose weight. It was the demons that caused me to be 420 pounds. Through ordinary demonic activity, the demonic was tempting, use my weakness towards sugar and carbs. And if I was lonely, I went to sugar. If I was depressed, I went to sugar. If I was happy or whatever, I went to sugar. And it went to the point where I was 420 pounds. And someone asked me if I had cancer. That's such a rude question. No, I don't have cancer. I walk 5 miles a day and I drink a gallon of water a day. So I watch my sugar and carbs. Yeah. So, okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, isn't that the truth? I tell you what, the idea, let me just, and I'm glad, thank you, Shannon, for posting that, pinning that. Let me just make this very clear to anybody. Every single person needs to listen to me. If anybody teaches you or tells you that a demonic entity will do something good for you, then you need to turn away and walk away. Because I give you my word, there is nothing good that will come with making a pact with the devil. There's nothing good, no matter what anyone tells you, folks. No matter, I give you, listen to me. I don't charge a penny for this ministry. I pay it for, you all know, I pay for it out of my own pocket, going to people's homes. As someone who has a doctorate in 3 master degrees, I'm telling you, I would do something else with my time if I did not know that possession existed. There's nothing, I'm not benefiting from this financially. I'm giving you my time for free. I'm here 4 times a week and I do it all for free because I'm passionate about what I do. But I will tell you this, if anybody tells you that, oh yeah, you can make a pact with the devil and you need to walk away. I'm telling you, walk away. All right. So this EVP is Tegos Ye Asadi. Listen to this. Well, was this? Oh, come on, you stupid thing. Battery 100%. But yeah, you should have came on. To start setup, download the Bose Connect app. What in the world? Now this stupid thing. No, it's not demon. Come on, folks. It's not everything is demon. It's just I had this working just a minute ago. I had it working earlier. Hold on. It's because ready to connect. You were connected. I might have to go and get my other one. So I hate to do that because well, come on, connect, dummy. It's technology. Oh no, it's not demons. See, if you start thinking everything is a demon, then you then become a victim. You victimize yourself. I don't do that. I'm like, no, I don't get into that. I don't do that. Don't ever do that. If you have issues in your life, once you start saying, oh yes, it's the demons, folks, I'm telling you, that's where you're going to get in trouble because then everything is the demon in your mind. And you ultimately victimize yourself. You don't want to do that. You want to stay far, far away from that. All right, let me see if I can figure out what this stupid thing is doing. Yeah. Just play it. We'll go. I might have to go get my other one. But anyway, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a quick little prayer. Can you approach your priest for an exorcism? Well, hush. You can, but let me just tell you, an exorcist will not perform an exorcism on command. That's number one. We don't. There is a great deal of prep work that occurs before we would even consider an exorcism. So Otherwise, because you have to be very careful about doing that, because if you perform an exorcism on someone who has mental illness, you could cause a serious issue, and that is what we don't want to do. So, you could certainly do so, but I don't think anyone's going to just do it just because you want it. People always tell me all the time, "Well, I want you to perform an exorcism." Well, you know what? I want to be young and beautiful, but it's one of those things. Okay, well, I think it's going to work. Let's see what it's going to do today. All right, so this is, again, this was something, and yeah, we'll do that. So we pray, St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle, be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. All right. Do I believe Jesus Christ as our source? Well, yes. Yeah. Well, I that's nice. You look like you lost weight and you're glowing. Well, I took a shower today. Just one. All right, here it is. See, it says Tegos ye Israel. And from what we understand, it's Hindi, but we have no idea. We have no, I mean, Tegos, we have something Israel. I don't know. When you think of even Spanish, Tegamos, Tegos, but that is an EVP that I captured in a place that was not violent. It was not aggressive. But it was certainly grabbed my attention. Play it again. Who's here? So that's very interesting when you hear that. There's multiple voices coming through. There's a female and then there's a male, and they're both saying the same thing. How do you differ from mental illness and possession? Well, that's a good question, because mental illness will not make you levitate. Mental illness will not give you the ability of prognostication or retrocognition, meaning that you know the sins of the person standing in front of you, not because you can read their mind, and I'll explain that later. It will not cause carvings to appear on your body. Your eyes can go solid black with a neurological condition, so that could be neurological. But with a mental illness, it doesn't cause you to, for example, I performed an exorcism once on someone, and they just looked at me, and with their arm, they just went like this. They just kept twisting and twisting, and then it cracked, and the arm broke. No grimace, no pain. It was a smirk. So I heard the snap of the bone, and I knew that the arm had been broken. But that's not a mental illness. So there are things that are very. That's a good question. That are very, very interesting. Yeah, let me play that one more time. That's a female voice. Who's here? Who's here? That's another one. So it's a very interesting, possibly an older lady. It sounds like they were praying or talking to peacefully. Yeah, this was not an aggressive house at all. It was just, we knew something wasn't right. There was a couple times there was a temperature changes. We did have temperature for, like, it was 85 in the house and it went down to 70, but we never felt threatened. It was not a threatening kind of a situation. And so I don't think that was the issue. It was just something was in that house with knocking and things moving. But I'm still trying to figure this out. I still can't decipher what it's saying, but Tegos ye Ire or Israel. So that's yeah, I didn't feel the demonic presence, folks. Let me tell you something. Listen to me carefully on now. You do not have to guess if there is a demon present. There's no guessing. There's no I'm wondering. When you walk into a place that has a demonic infestation, the oppressiveness is intense, because you know that you're dealing with something that true nightmares are made of. There's a big difference between you watching a movie about demons and actually being in the presence of one. I will tell you, there's a big difference between the two. If you watch the scariest demonic movie that's out there, whatever that might be, the scariest possible movie you can think of, now, when you're watching it, that's one thing. But when you are actually there in the presence of that thing that you're terrified of, when you're watching those scary movies and you kind of get closer and closer and snuggle a little bit to your covers, you kind of just want to cover it up, like, oh, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Now, when you're in the presence of a demon, your entire body, everything in your body is screaming to run. Everything, because you have flight or fight. And instinctively, we know that when you're in the presence of something pure, it's pure evil, then your body, your conscious is saying, get the heck out of there. You need to go now. This is not safe. The hairs are standing on the back. I'm getting goosebumps now, even thinking about the experiences that I've had. I've performed 30 exorcisms on people who are validly possessed. 30. Now, wow, that's not a whole lot, but I've been doing this for 2 decades. So possession is rare. Now, I've blessed a lot of homes. And folks, I can't bring you onto the screen. I'm so sorry. And the reason being is because I run the show on 2 different platforms. So I run the show on here and on TikTok, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, so that they can't hear you or see you. For those of you who are brand new, that's what I do. I'm running the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'm KGRADB and Spreaker on this computer, and then on TikTok. So they can't see. You guys can't connect to one another. But as I was mentioning, when you're in the presence of a demonic entity, there's a lot of people that want to tell you that demons don't exist. They're incorrect. Respectful. I've already said, sir, SV, I just said I can't bring you on. So one more time, and I'm going to have to block you, and I don't want to do that. SVERIGESD. I've asked you to stop doing that. Okay. So this person keeps popping up. Okay. All right. Moderators, SVERIGESTID, Maskin. He keeps popping up. You need to stop. A matter of fact, let me just turn this off now. Decline. So now I just turn it off. There's a person on TikTok that kept doing it over and over. It's a troll, just being a troll. So I just turned it off. So now you can't do it. Okay. But I tell you what, you got to remember, our spirit collectively, we are ticking off a lot of people's demons right now. A lot of people's demons. So that's okay. We're just speaking our experience. But when you're in the presence of a demonic entity, you know that something is wrong. You know that it is intense. Your body, everything in your body is telling you to leave. But as an exorcist, I'm trained to stay, because the demonic will feed on that fear, and it will sense that fear, and it will pounce on it. And you cannot show any weakness. You cannot show any intimidation. And it's not always easy to do, especially when you see someone that is contorting, like their bodies are contorting, that's unnatural, that their face is very serpent-like, or they're screaming in multiple pitches at the same time, or when you're using holy water or blessed oil, and then markings will appear on their body, or they mimic the voice of a deceased loved one. These are the things that they try to intimidate you with, or even the manipulation of the environment, and sometimes the voice. The voice is not just a multiple pitches. It's almost impossible to explain. It's like you have a speaker here, a speaker there, and a speaker like on all four, and it kind of wanders. It's like it bounces from one, and it's like that. If you've ever, you know what I'm talking about? If you ever hear like one of those things that kind of goes back and forth on different speakers. And again, that's to throw your equilibrium off. So these are the things that is not mental illness. Okay. The next one is, there's a EVP. It says Philip. It's very soft. So let me play that for you a couple of times. Again, this was not violent, but I want to play this again, the stuff that wasn't violent, and then we're going to kind of go to a little bit more serious stuff. Okay.
Who's here?
Okay, you hear it said Philip. So I'm going to play it again. There's a long pause, and you'll hear when you're hearing the noise canceling headset, you can hear it says Philip. So you guys are hearing it through my mic, my lapel mic, and this mic here. So you're not getting the full effect. But let's go. You can clearly hear something.
Who's here?
Okay, it's waits. There. Now again, that's hard to hear, but it says Philip. I don't know who Philip was. I have no idea. I have no clue. But we knew something was there because it kept making noises. The door kept opening and shutting. And we thought, okay, is this, and this was a house, but we thought, well, let's turn the air conditioning system off. So we turned anything off that would cause a draft. And this door, it wasn't I wouldn't say it's like a really cheap door, but it was, it went to one of the rooms, the bedrooms, and it would open, and you would hear the latch, and then you would hear the latch again open, and then it would close, and you could hear it click. When you shut the door and it clicks, you know that I don't know the terms. The little hooky dooky thing is in the frame anyway. You know that it's in there, right? So it would shut, and then open, and it would open, not wide open, but it would kind of like 3/4 of the way, and then it shut right back again. And there was nothing. We heard there was absolutely no draft. There was no one opening or shutting any doors. It was just us. And that's when I said, "Who's here?" And then it said, "Philip." I asked the homeowners, did they know of Philip? They had no idea. It wasn't a violent haunt, but the door kept opening, and they would have lights flickering off and on. In those cases, folks, when I began to pray, say the rosary, I didn't have any type of violent response. There was nothing. So what I do in those cases, I always pray for the repose of the soul and ask God to forgive their sins and for their guardian angels to help, push them through the light. No one can force or send any spirit to the light without their free will. So people say that to me all the time. Well, I force that spirit to the light. No. If God doesn't even force us to the light, you can't force anyone to light. That's ego. We can assist, but forcing, no, that's violating their free will. And I don't think, because I think when we die, people ask, well, why are spirits here? I don't believe that heaven is forced upon us. I think heaven is presented to us because we know free will exists, because angels freely rejected God. So therefore, free will must exist in heaven. So the idea that now heaven is going to be forced upon us makes no sense. Free will is an eternal gift. So I think heaven is presented. And you can either choose or you can remain here for whatever reason. But this person or this spirit, Philip, there was no violence. There was no violence. Okay, there's another EVP, and it said no. Again, this was not violent, but I want to play this.
Okay, can you take it down to 61.5?
Okay, there it is again. I say, can you take it down to 61.5? No. Now, the reason this was kind of this was not a violent, but he liked to play jokes, or whatever spirit was there he wasn't mean, he wasn't vicious, he wasn't aggressive. But it started out at I believe it was 78 or 79 degrees. I had the laser thermometer, and I was placing it, I think, against the wall. And I said, okay, we have a baseline 78 degrees, no air conditioning, no heat, everything was turned off. And within a couple of minutes, I say, can you turn this can you turn the degree to 75? And it went down to 77, 76, 75. Okay, thank you. That's okay. Can you do it to 72? And you slowly saw the temperature go down. And of course, this was not in the middle of the winter. So people say, well, it must have been winter. You had the air conditioner off or heat off. Nope. It was, I think it was in spring. I can't remember, but I know what was in the winter. And so it went to 72. Then I asked 70 and it went to 70. Now keep in mind, I wasn't moving it. I literally had that laser thermometer on one spot for the whole time. And then finally, can you turn to 68? Said no. Because it basically is like, look, I've done enough. What do you want? Come on. So I'll play it again.
Okay. Can you take it down to 61.5?
Well, 61.5. So it said no. And but I think it's interesting when you hear that. I'll play it again just so you can hear it. It's very quick. 61.5. No.
Okay. Can you take it down to 61.5?
So I don't know. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, he was tired. It's a good point. That's a good point. Someone said he was tired, meaning the spirit. Here's what I have found as a paranormal enthusiast, but also as an exorcist, as someone who actually investigates cases. I have found that when you're dealing with the human spirit, they're able to manifest only so much energy to be able to push or manipulate the environment. Very, very little. I have never, ever experienced a situation where it was a human spirit and they were able to move a chair. I mean, literally move it or fling something across the room that's heavy, that has weight, or move a couch or throw a TV across the room. I have never experienced a human spirit that is able to manifest enough energy to do that. Because remember, they're in spirit form, not in physical form. Now, with a demonic entity, that's different. With a demon, I was doing a blessing, the minor rite of exorcism, actually, on a home that it was very violent. And I was with the clergy. This person had their clergy come with me, and he was kind of concerned. I could tell he was a little nervous about it, but he showed up, and I told him, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do. Okay, I'll help you out. So we were upstairs in this beautiful house, and I was doing the minor rite of exorcism, and he was uncomfortable, and we heard the loudest bang. I thought that the house was going to come down. I mean, I literally thought that someone was bulldozing the house. His face turned white as goat. He ran down those stairs, out the door. He was gone. He was not going to. No, he was not sticking around. We went downstairs, and this couch, this big, it was like a mahogany, I don't even know what to say. It was it was expensive, very heavy couch. So you had, it's hard to explain. You go down the stairs, here's the living room. And then right behind the living room here, well, to the side, oh, dang on it. My TikTok, someone must have just reported me on TikTok. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, no. Resume live. Yep. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Sorry about that. No. We're all good. We're all good. No, it's not the demons. It's not the demons. It's technology. It's all good. It's all good. So, yeah. For those of you who have no idea, my stupid iPad decided to act dumb. But let me unplug it. Maybe there we go. Hold on. There we go. There. Okay. So we went downstairs, and this couch flung, but we heard it hit this huge noise, and it literally flung through the dining room area, and they had a big, heavy oak, I think, a big, beautiful table. It slammed into this oak, destroying it, and ending up right like embedded in the wall. The couch. This couch, this big, beautiful mahogany couch, it's a beautiful couch. This thing literally was flung 15 feet right into the wall, into the dining room area. And I'm telling you, that was violent. That was violent. Okay. Are you ready to be a mod? Okay. Who's going to be a mod? Shannon, and I'll mod them. Okay. Now, the next one is yeah, I'll be happy to mod them. This next one is this is an interesting thing here. What is a poltergeist? Okay, swiper. Okay, poltergeist. Listen, this is from my perspective what a poltergeist is, because I've had poltergeist cases. Poltergeist means noisy ghost. I've not found it to be a ghost at all. Poltergeist is energy. It's negative energy that someone is omitting because they're going through extreme emotional stress. In every poltergeist that I've had, it's always been that. Now, can a malevolent spirit use that poltergeist energy for nefarious activity? Yes. However, a demonic entity doesn't need the poltergeist energy. They don't need it. So they can manifest their energy just by their very existence. Whereas a malevolent human spirit does need that. And so it can certainly feed off that negative energy. So, for example, if you get the family or the individual who's going through the extreme emotional, the negative anxiety, if you get them help, then the activity will completely stop. And this is not that complicated. If you think about it, I've said this before. For example, if you go down the street and someone's coming towards you, you don't know the person, but you don't want to know them. You're like, no, I think I'll come over. I'll go over there. You stay over there. That's energy. Einstein even taught energy, that we omit energy. Someone walks in a room. They don't have to say a word. People flock to the person. That's positive energy. It's all energy. So I have found that someone going through extreme emotional stress causes poltergeist activity. So light bulbs will explode. The number one form, by the number one form of destruction with poltergeist is fire. So if I ever have a poltergeist case, I always tell people, your curtains, make sure that they're not around plugs, electrical appliances, turn them off if you don't need them. That is what I have found with poltergeist. Okay, this next one says Linda. And yes, you got to listen carefully. Listen to this.
I know you're here. We're not going to hurt you, but can you tell us your name?
Okay, it goes, can you tell us your name? It says, Linda. Yes. Okay, one more time.
I know you're here. We're not going to hurt you, but can you tell us your name?
Did you hear that? It's very, again, it's very faint, but you can hear Linda. Yes. Okay. No, and what you're hearing on these, believe me, they get much better. But what you're hearing on these actually is these are EVPs. So I have my digital recorder. I'm just pushing record. I'm just holding the record button, push the record button, and I'm asking questions. These are not disembodied voice. I can't hear them. If you can hear them with your ear, you can hear it. That's called a disembodied voice. If you cannot, it's called an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. So you have a digital recorder, you push the record button, and you ask questions. You wait for a second or two. You don't want to. What's your name? How old are you? Is there anyone here? Pause for it. What is your name? So, but here, one more time.
I know you're here. We're not going to hurt you, but can you tell us your name?
It's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool EVP, because now I would classify that as there's a class A, class B, class C EVP. When you're having your headsets on, the noise canceling, I would say there's probably a class B. Class A is you can hear my voice just like this. That's a class A. That's absolutely clear. Class B, you can hear it, and you have to listen carefully, but you can figure out what it's saying. Class C is something is there. You hear a response, but you really can't really tell what it is. Okay. No, there were no kids. You heard kids outside? Was that something? Ert, are you talking about here? Ert Radio? Let me play this one more time.
I know you're here. We're not going to hurt you, but can you tell us your name?
So yeah, that's interesting. There, I have to listen to it again, see if there's more. Here's another one. This is kind of a weird laugh. Again, this was not a violent case, but there was something going on in the home, It wasn't, I wouldn't say it wasn't terribly active, but the family knew something wasn't right. So listen to this. He's talking about his outside his home. No, there's nobody, there's no kids out here at all. None. So listen to this.
Let's see sometimes if there's something here, if it walks closer.
Did you hear that? Now, when I remember when I played that back, I was like, okay, no. They're laughing. Something was laughing. So let me play it again.
Let's see sometimes if there's something here, if it walks closer to the red light.
Because what I had the laser again, because I was trying to see the temperature gauge, and when I had the temperature, I said sometimes when it goes cold, and then it laughed, but it wasn't aggressive on that particular case. That was not an aggressive case at all. One more time.
Let's see sometimes if there's something here, if it walks closer to the red.
See, that's an interesting catch. What was the question? Oh, that was in Kentucky. This was a case. This was an exorcism case, and I can't divulge on my. Okay, let me just make this clear to everybody. I respect the people that I go to their homes, and they ask me to help them. I'm not going to divulge their name. I'm not going to divulge where they live. I can tell you about the case to a point, but I'm not going to violate the trust that they have in me. So I will give you as much as I possibly can. And in this case, this was an exorcism case. We were walking towards where we were going to begin the ritual, and you clearly hear. It's very faint, but you hear, "Help me." So I'm going to play this. This was an exorcism. This was right before we began the Litany of Saints. The Litany of Saints is when Saint Michael, pray for us. Saint Gabriel, pray for us. And so basically you have the person who chants, whatever it might be, Saint Raphael, and then the person will pray for us, and you chant the entire litany. And the reason is you do the litany is because we're invoking the saints above in heaven. We're asking the angels to stand with us, because it's not the exorcist alone. It is, we are invoking the angels and saints above in heaven to stand side by side to help us combat this evil. So this I'm going to play, but you got to listen carefully. It's "Help Me," right before we begin the Litany of Saints. Okay, again, I'll play it again. So when you're listening to that noise canceling, you can, I don't know how clear, again, you're listening to it on this, you're listening on this. The individual that was with us at that time had a recorder that was, they could actually hear it. And so they had, it's a live EVP recorder where you can actually hear the EVPs that's being recorded. And they said, "Bishop, it just said, help me." So we immediately went into the Litany of Saints. One more time. So when we heard that, it was like, okay, it's time. And that, I'll never forget, that was a violent case. It took a while, but we were able to do it. Okay. This one is Nick on Ghost Adventures. When I did the Bobby Mackey's episodes, Nick asked Scott or Alonzo, are they here with us? And EVP says yes. It's faint at the end. Now, these are my personal recordings because I had my own recording with the guys when we did the episode. And I will tell you, people, they ask me all the time, was Ghost Adventures fake? No. I'm telling you, I was there. If any show faked evidence, I would walk off that show in a heartbeat. Because as I mentioned, I don't do this for money. I do this to help people. And the one thing that I have in this field that I have worked my butt off is my credibility. Because no one can come to me and say, oh, James, you're just doing this or that. No, I'm not. I don't get paid for it. I have told executive producers from networks, don't ever contact me again. During a conference, when I was doing a presentation, I had an executive producer contact me from a network saying, Bishop Long, all you have to do is perform an exorcism on camera. We'll give you X, Y, Z and all this money and all that. And I told it, do not ever call me again. A whole room of people saw it. I put it on speakerphone. So don't call me again. I have worked tirelessly to build credibility. And that is one thing that I have in this field. And I'm very proud of, because I won't work with anybody who charges people, who goes to people's houses to investigate. I won't work with anybody who does that, because the intent could be, it could be impure. It could be obviously to make money, to make a buck. Yep, I performed 30 of them. So Nick is asking here, is Scott or Alonzo is here with us? And the EVP says yes.
Scott Jackson or Alonzo, are you down here with us?
Sorry, that's Zach. Play it again.
Scott Jackson or Alonzo, are you down here with us?
Okay, you can hear it again. One more.
Scott Jackson or Alonzo, are you down here with us?
It actually says, oh yeah. That I would say probably is a, I do speak to Zach. Zach is a friend of mine. I like Zach, and he's executive producer and owner of Ghost Adventures, and he does a great job. Whether you like him or not, he does a great job on the shows. And obviously he's quite successful, because if he wasn't successful, he wouldn't be on the air. So there we go. This next one is, I believe it was Nick. I think it's asked Scott, let's say, do you not like us being here with you? And you hear a faint no at the end. I think that's, this is Nick asking that question. It says, do you not like us being here with you? And you hear a very faint no.
Do you not like us being here with you?
Okay. You hear it. No, it's kind of far off, but I'll play it again.
Do you not like us being here with you?
You hear that? It said no. It's very, very, very far away.
Like us being here with you?
Yeah, you could, that was, I'm telling the Ghost Adventures episode, the Bobby Mackeys affected them terribly. Terribly. Yeah, you hear, I would say it's a class C. It's hard to hear, but you can hear it. There's something there. This is a PX. I had a PX with me, and you'll hear it say, I killed. And this was, again, during the Bobby Mackeys episode that was not aired. There were a lot of things that were not aired because it really, really affected the guys. Matter of fact, they had to stop. It got so intense that they actually stopped the lockdown. That's how intense the Bobby Mackeys got. And I'll tell you, if I go to a location and I don't experience anything, I'll tell you I didn't experience it. But I'm telling you, well, I experienced that. It is. John Paul, that's a good question. John Paul, isn't EVP dangerous? Yes. But you got to, I am an exorcist. I have to have evidence. I have to have evidence, because otherwise I can't tell you how many people tell me, oh, a chair flew across the room. Okay. And I show up, nothing happens. And I'm provoking, I'm praying, I'm doing the Hail Mary, nothing happens. Or TV gets thrown across the room or whatever. I have to see the evidence. I need to hear it. I need to know what's going on. That's why I have teams. They go out, they investigate. They investigate because they try to debunk what's going on. They try to explain. I can't be, I'm not, I can't, there's not 51 Bishop Longs. I am one person. So I depend on teams to investigate, to give me the evidence, to help me out so that I can figure out, okay, what are we dealing with? Are we dealing with the human spirit? Are we dealing with a poltergeist? Are we dealing with a demonic entity? What? And the only way to do it is to investigate. There is no other way to do it. And they investigate, they gather all the evidence, they present it to me, and then I make the decision on what we need to do. That's what we have to do. But is it dangerous? Yes. There are dangers to paranormal investigating. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that's how we do it. So here is, this is the PX during the investigation, and it said, I killed. Now, the PX is not designed to put words like that together. So when you get things, including the ghost of the spirit, it's called the spirit box, or SB7, which I have. A lot of people have that. The spirit box is not designed to put long sentences together. Basically, it's strolling through the channels on the radio frequency very fast, very, very fast. And then if you ask a question, then, and sometimes you get long answers, pay attention to that. So let me play this again. Again, people are going to, look, I get it. I'm not going to make everybody happy. There are tons of people on this saying, Bishop Long, you need to share the information and the evidence that you have so we can know that this is real. And then on this hand, you have people saying, Bishop Long, you should never do it. Shame on you. You're a fake bishop. So damn if you do, damn if you don't. So I'm going to do what I think is right. And what I think is right is to share the evidence with you so that you can see this is the stuff that I see, some, so that I can educate people, because I can stand up here all day long and tell you all about demons, but unless I have something to back it up with, then it's just, you have to trust my word. And you know what? Here's the evidence. Okay. All right. This one says, do you not like us being here? You hear a very faint no.
Do you not like us being here?
Oh, sorry, we already did it. Here's the PX saying, I killed.
Are you evil?
So you hear Zach say, are you evil? And that's right when we just got to the well. And it said, I killed. One more time.
Are you evil?
And that's when all hell broke loose. That's when the growl started. That's when it was getting nasty. Because the evil there said, okay, you know that I'm here, and now I'm not going to hide. And then everything just went to hell. Okay. This was at Eastern Cemetery. And if you hear the Eastern Cemetery, there was no noise. There's nothing around really to make this type of noise. We were at the crematorium, and I don't remember what I said, but we'll play it.
To the point where I am literally getting
there. So I said, to the point I am literally getting, and you hear a loud slam, but there was nothing, but we didn't hear a slam. And in this place, in Eastern Cemetery, you can Google it, the groundskeeper or the director at that time actually dug up graves. You can Google this. He dug graves up, and he dumped the corpse out of the coffin, and then he reburied people on top of, resold the graves. So it's now an abandoned, no one's using it anymore. And he actually went to prison. So you can, it's terrible. And it's not a good thing at all. So that's the loud bang again.
To the point where I am literally getting.
So there we go. Her loud. Now this next one, it's at same cemetery. And I ask, are you angry? And immediately when I say angry, you hear no. Okay. So I'll play it.
Do you know who I am?
No, that's Seth. Hold on. That's a loud bang. Is it this one?
Are you angry?
Okay, so as soon as I'm saying, are you angry? The R, you'll hear no. So listen.
Are you angry? Are you angry?
You hear that?
Are you angry? Are you angry?
So he said no. And something just didn't feel right that night. That something didn't feel right. Now, this one, this is the Class A EVP. I said, do you know who I am? Because I wanted to see if there was an educated guess or if there was an intelligent response, I should say. And I was thinking that, if I said, hey, do you know who I am? I was going to play it back and it was going to say James or no or whatever. But it gave me an answer and it gave me a name, and the name was Seth, and it's Class A. Listen.
Do you know who I am?
Let me tell you something. Now, I didn't hear it when it actually happened. I was by myself. No one was around me. And when I got into my car, because then I had the noise canceling headset and I played it back, I flung the headset off because I was not expecting that. That's a Class A. It says Seth, as clear as day.
Do you know who I am?
I'm telling you. Now, Seth, for those that said, it's, if you think, well, that sounds biblical. It is. Seth, it was the third child of Adam and Eve. I'm not implying that I'm the reincarnated third child of Adam and Eve. I'm just simply giving you an idea if you think. But yeah, that's pretty intense. That was pretty intense. There's another one here. It says, oh yeah. I ask, is there anyone else here with you? And immediately it responds, oh yeah. Listen.
Is anyone else here with you?
Oh yeah.
Is anyone else here with you?
Oh yeah.
Now, at this time, this was getting a little bit, in this case, there was some violence here. It wasn't extreme, but there were objects that were being moved that a human spirit couldn't do. And this required the minor rite of exorcism. This actually, on that one, that was a case on one of my haunted objects that I took from the home because of the activity. And I've talked about my haunted objects a lot. I've done shows on my haunted objects, but I was there, and this one, you can clearly hear.
Is anyone else here with you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And that was a Class A EVP. And that was very intense when I heard that, when I played it back. Okay. This EVP, I'm going to make it very clear to everybody. This is where it gets a little dark. Yeah, this is where it gets serious. I've played this before. This was at the Gates of Hell Cemetery. And I've said this before. I'm the one that named the Gates of Hell Cemetery. About, 17, I can't remember how many years ago, 15, 17 years ago, whatever. I was doing an online, I think it was 17 years. I was doing an online radio show. And a family had contacted my team and said, look, there's a cemetery here. It's an old abandoned cemetery. Nobody even knew that it existed because it's on this right off this old dusty road, the windy road. And it's really far out in the country. Nobody even knew it even existed. But they were saying, we are seeing some people going back and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So is there any way that you could come and bless this ground? Because they had family members that were buried there. It's now abandoned, but I think the county takes care of it. I said, sure. Yeah, I'll be happy to go and bless the ground. And because, they were doing things they shouldn't have done, sacrificing animals, doing stupid stuff. So we get there to do an investigation to determine what are we dealing with here? We got there, and I'm telling you, this place is no joke. This place, as I've said a million times, makes Bobby Mackey's look like Walt Disney World. Do not, under any circumstance, if you do, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Do not go to this place. I will not go at night. And I'm trained in exorcism, and I will not go at night. Because if you go there, you're asking for trouble, and you're going to get it. So we went, all hell broke loose at that place. We were not expecting this. And what happened? It was crazy. And we got back on the radio, and I was like, this is like the gates of hell. And that's it. That we're going to call it the gates. And that's how the name, the Gates of Hell, stuck at the cemetery. So I went on History Channel and talked about it, National Geographic, about the Gates of Hell Cemetery. And then all of a sudden people start talking about this place. This was the place where when I went there once at midnight with 3 other people, Bishop David Price was with me. We walked to when you go back here, so it's a long, windy road. When you leave the main road, which is basically a very small road, and you get on this a dusty road, on your sides, it's a fence, barbed wire fence on both sides and trees. And as you're driving, as soon as it is the weirdest experience. As soon as you get off the road and you get on this dirt road, you feel it. Everything changes. And I mean everything changes. And I'm going to play this EVP here in a second. It is heavy. It is intense. You know that you're getting close to something you should not be going to. And as you get closer and closer, that yucky feeling in your stomach occurs. And then it dead ends at this cemetery. And it's a horseshoe fence around it. And in the very back, there's a dead tree. And this is where a lot of people do, terrible rituals and all this other stuff. So we were there once. And one path going in, with same path going out, and people desecrated their graves and things of this nature. And we went back to this tree, and it was around midnight, and it was in the middle of summer. The wind began to pick up. I mean, really pick up, but we felt no wind where we were. There's trees everywhere all around you. And it would sway, the trees were swaying back and forth, and crickets and all that stopped. It was dead silent, middle of summer. And then we start seeing shadow people behind the trees. They were darting in and out behind the trees. They were doing like this, and it kept. So we were in the middle here, and they kept surrounding us like this, hundreds. And we knew that we were being closed off. So we said, okay, it's time for us to go, because we weren't there to perform the minor rite of exorcism. So we left, and we finally got out of the entrance there, and we were talking. And one of the investigators turned around, and we heard the rattling of his flashlight, because he shined the light on this tree that's right in the beginning. It was a big, beautiful full moon right behind that tree. So it lit up everything, and he was shaking. And we all stopped and looked at his hand, and his hands were doing this. And we turned around, and every single one of us, I've said this to this day, I don't know what in the world we saw. But every one of us, and you talk to Bishop David Price, he'll tell you, I'll take a lie detector test on air. If someone will give me a lie detector test, I'll take it right here in front of everybody. What that thing was in that tree, I don't know. It was a different feeling. It was a different feeling than a demonic feeling. It was a massive, in my opinion, it looked like a bat. It was huge. The wings were spread out. This thing was huge. The wings spread the entire tree. It was so clear. We saw the claws that were on the branches, and we could see it move its feet. It would look right down at us. It had a long, like a human torso, but it looked right down at us. The eyes were like LED red. It looked to me like a large bat. It said nothing. There was no noise. But we knew at that very moment that if we walked 1 inch closer to that entrance, we were done for. We were done. And there was no, man, that just gives me, that gives me, I don't know what that sucker was. And I think that's what drives me crazy, because I can't define it. So we was like, okay, we don't know what this is. So we got in the car, we took off. I finally got to my home. And my little dog, Kylie, she's resting in heaven now, but I took her outside in the front. And across the street is a big open field, and there's bushes. And it's a side street where there's hardly no cars at all. But as she was doing her business, I heard the deepest growl I have ever heard in my life. Now, folks, it's not a bear. I've heard a bear growl. It is not a lion. Think deeper. Think bigger. It was about 15, 20 feet away, and it was, I mean, it was this long, deep breath. It was, I've said this before, it was so deep that I literally, my chambers in the chest, I could feel it. Kylie stopped what she was doing. She's stone cold stopped. I grabbed her and said, nope, we're going inside. It was not a cougar. Think deeper and bigger. This was huge. You could have put a big old massive bass speaker on the back and turn the bass up as loud as you can. And that's what it felt like when I'm telling you the chambers in my chest, I could feel the vibration. To this day, I don't know what that sucker, I don't know what it was. I don't know. But so I go to the Gates of Hell Cemetery, and I'm going to share you what I heard.
Is there anyone here? Are you friendly?
That is probably the best EVP in the world. And I'm not saying that as a braggadocious kind of moment. I'm saying that too because I've heard thousands of EVPs over 2 decades. That is intense. And that was at the Gates of Hell Cemetery. That's why I tell people, stay away. Please do not go to that place. Now, I will be doing some video at the Gates of Hell. And it will be, I'm going to upload that on my YouTube channel. So if you want to make sure you subscribe, that's going to be happening soon. I will not be going at night. At least I don't plan on it unless I've some crazy idea that I have. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea, but I'm only going to be airing that on YouTube. And here's why. Because it is in the record. This place is in the country. There's no cell signal. So I can't do a live show there. So the only way I can do it is record it, make it an episode, and upload it to my YouTube channel. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to be doing that, and you'll be able to watch it there. It's on Linktree on my profile on TikTok. You just click on the Linktree thing, and you'll say the YouTube channel. Make sure all of you subscribe. Or you can just go to bishopjameslong.com. Scroll down, you'll see the social media links, and you'll see the YouTube. Click it, subscribe it. That's coming. I've got to start putting it all together, but just be looking forward. That's going to happen. I'll let you guys know when it's going to happen. Play it again.
Is there anyone here? Are you friendly?
I don't think it was friendly. Okay. This next recording, I'm not going to play all of it because it's 8 minutes long. I'm giving you heads up now because there's a lot of people coming in. Again, folks, people, why are you playing this? Why are you playing this? I'm to educate you and to show you this stuff is real. It's not make believe. What you see in the movies is one thing, but when you're actually in the presence, it's a different world, folks. This is an actual recording of Annalise Michel. Now, there's a lot of stuff online that's junk. This is an actual recording. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Annalise Michel was the exorcism of Emily Rose. I am 1,000,000% convinced that she was possessed. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Because number one, we have proof without question that there was possession. Now, I do believe she had other issues that the demonic manipulated. But again, I'm giving you fair warning. This is about 8 minutes long, and I'll talk a little bit about what they were doing so you can get an understanding of what was occurring. I'm not going to play the whole 8 minutes, but you've been warned.
Wer bist du? Judas.
Priest is asking, who are you?
Fleischmann in die Hölle. Und du weißt noch, was du zu sagen
At this time, the exorcist is saying, are you this person? Are you that person? And the demonic is saying yes. The demonic is saying no. It's toying with them is what they're doing. This is in German. So at this point, that's what's happening. Then they begin praying, and you'll hear an extreme scream with multiple pitches that the demonic is in pain and is struggling because they are combating the evil. So
hast. Und des Heiligen Geistes. Gottes. Des Heiligen Geistes. Und gib das Zeichen des und sprich das Zeichen zum Ausfahren. Des Heiligen Geistes. Das Zeichen zu geben.
I have heard pitches like that. It is trying to blow out the vocal cords. The reason is because during the rite, the exorcist commands the demonic to give its name. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to verify the actual name of the demonic. And the demonic is saying, oh, I'm this, I'm Hitler, I'm this. It's toying with them. And so they say, okay, fine. We're not going to give it the name. So you continue the rite. So I have heard pitches like this before. And here's why. So anybody who tells you that this stuff is fake, walk away from them. They don't know what they're talking about. We know for a fact a sound engineer took the sound bite and put it together in a multi-million-dollar machine.
Und des Heiligen Geistes.
Let me play this.
Gottes. Des Heiligen Geistes. Und gib das Zeichen des und sprich das Zeichen zum Ausfahren.
Okay, listen to this.
Des Heiligen Geistes. Das Zeichen zu geben.
What the sound engineer was able to do is determine there are 32. Listen to this. There are 32 pitches at the same time. Now, some people saying 37. After you get past 3, it doesn't matter. I mean, really, that's superhuman. When I'm talking about pitches is, for example, imagine if you had a choir and you had bass, baritone, tenor, soprano, alto, and they were all doing this one note. Well, you have 32, the multi-million-dollar machine, 32 pitches at the same time. There's a Tibetan monk that can do 3, and they train their vocalizations for chanting their entire life. And he's able to do 3. That was 32. So don't tell me this isn't real. This one here. I'll play that again. In a minute, at the very end, you will hear basically tell them to shut up. That's what they're doing. And so you'll hear scream. It'll be a high pitch, and then you hear like a low pitch at the same time. That's what I mean by pitches. Now listen carefully, and I'll point it out. What's doing it there anyway? You have a bass, and then you have a tenor voice, or an alto voice at the same time, just when it's talking now. But I'll play it. Listen. Here we go. Do you hear that? Nine. So it says no. So I'll do it again. Did you hear that? So you can hear the multiple pitches just in that alone when it's saying no. Yeah, I've performed 30 exorcisms on people who are possessed. So just that alone you can hear. Now, this was a case that I worked in Seattle. And what would happen is his wife contacted me because he would stand up above her bed. He'd walk around. He'd make all kinds of weird noises. And then he'd go right over to her bed, and by her, where her head was, and he was completely out. I mean, his eyes were, sometimes she described them as all white, and he would just rock back and forth like this. And she would, call his name. I'm not going to say his name. She'd call his name, and he wouldn't respond. He would just keep rocking. And so I said, okay, I want you to record what he says. And she did. And when I got there, an exorcism was clearly warranted. There were no ifs, ands, or buts. He was possessed. But she was terrified. Now, a couple of times, let me just explain a few things. You will hear, and oftentimes when you're dealing with what's called transient possession, you'll have, or multiple possessions, legions, you'll have a demonic entity that will leave and another demonic that will enter as well with a completely different personality. So on this case, you're going to hear sometimes it's almost jovial, like he says, "I sing you," and you'll hear that, and then you'll hear some other noises where it's a different person, completely different personality, and you'll see the difference when you hear. Just listen to the, and then you'll pay attention to the personality of the demon. So there was multiple. This was a terrible case. So let me go and play this. Is it cussing? Totally different. Now watch. Okay, there's another. It says, "I sing you," and he's looking at his wife. Now, I should let you know, he has no idea. He's in a complete catatonic state. He's not in control of his functions. He didn't remember any of this. He suffered from transient possession. The demon would enter at will and leave at will. And so he remembered nothing of this, nothing. And you'll hear in a minute where I'll play it. Here's the curse word. You'll hear another click. I'm not going to tell you what it's saying. Did you hear that? You heard that, and then underneath it. So I'll play that again. There, you see it? That's the multiple pitches I'm talking about. So as I'm saying you again. Okay. So there you go. That was one of the cases that I worked in Seattle, where I paid out of my own pocket to go to that family's home. So for those hater gators out there, why do you have a store? So I can help families like this, because I don't charge. So as you can hear, it's pretty intense, but this is why I wanted to share that with you. Not to sensationalize it, but I wanted to share it with you, and because not a lot of exorcists do that. Because it's important that you hear some things so that you can see that when we talk about possession, it's not make-believe. And this stuff does exist. Now, I would never, under any circumstances, never will I ever show you a video of me performing an exorcism on someone. Never. I would lose my salvation over that. But why, anybody who ever, I find that appalling. I appreciate the question, but I don't like that. Sharing videos of performing exorcisms on people. You wouldn't want that. And you wouldn't want someone doing that to your family. If your family member was possessed and some yahoo runs around and starts doing exorcism, then puts it all over social media so they can get likes and get a paycheck from social media, that's an abomination. You'll never, ever, never will you see, never will I perform. I will never do that to somebody. I wouldn't want someone doing that to my family. There are things that the person will do during possession that they have no control of. I've had someone bite their nails, literally look right at me and spit it out, and put it on YouTube. It's sacrilegious. Do these things exist? Yes. Can it be alarming when you hear them? Yeah. But I want to tell you something, because I'm going to play something. I don't want to end this on a scary note. I'm going to play something from Israel. And it's very powerful and it's very beautiful. So what you heard was demonic entities. In a minute, I'm going to play something that was absolutely miraculous. There was an elderly woman. She had a little recorder with her, a little cassette recorder. This was like in the 78 or 80, 1980. She went to Israel. She went to this small little church, and she brought a little recorder because she loved hearing them sing Alleluia. She loved it. And she wanted to take it home and just enjoy it while she's at home. Well, what you're going to hear is they'll stop singing. But the music doesn't stop. And she forgot to push the stop button after they finished the recording. And then she realized later on, she stopped and she went home, she listened to it, and there's music there. And this was verified. A sound engineer checked it. This was 1980s. This was in cassette. This wasn't digital. And the cassette does still exist. And this 1980. I mean, this is a like 80-year-old woman. But I'm going to play that. And while demonic entities want you to think that you're a victim, you need to always remember that you're a child of God, no matter what anybody tries to tell you, no matter what the trolls try to tell you. You are priceless. I always end my show with, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. You're priceless, and never let anybody convince you otherwise. We all have guardian angels. You need to call upon your guardian angels. But remember, as I've told you before, your guardian angel will not help you unless you give them permission to, because they're not going to violate your free will. So you call upon your guardian angel, whoever you may be. I give you permission to intercede on my behalf and help me with this. Thank you very much. And I guarantee you, miracles will happen. But you got to give them permission to. Here's the recording of this absolute beautiful Alleluia chorus in Israel, and then it stops. That's where it stops. So for those of you who just joined us again, that was a recording that an 80-year-old woman had with a cassette player in Israel. It's a small little town, small little Christian church, and they were singing the Alleluia. And she forgot to stop it, the cassette recorder, and she went home. She played it back, and then she heard that. And that is one of the most powerful sounds. I mean, I play that often when I do a paranormal conference, when I do on demonology and possession. I always like to play that at the end, because when you can hear you can hear it with the surround sound, it's powerful. You know, it just reminds people that although demonic entities, they are scary, they should be taken seriously. They want nothing more than your destruction. They want nothing more. They want nothing more for you to believe that they don't exist. They want nothing more for you to believe that God doesn't exist. They want to separate you from the belief of that God's there and that he cares. They want you to think that you're no good. They want you to think that God will never love you. They want you to think that no matter what you've done in this life, God will never forgive you. They want you to think that you're not good enough and you're going to burn in the fiery pits of hell, so you might as well just go ahead and give up anyway. Do not listen to that bull. Don't listen to that lie. Don't listen to it. Don't allow the devil to make you think that you're anything less than priceless in God's eyes. Did you hear what I said? Don't allow the devil to make you think that you're anything less than priceless in God's eyes. Because I assure you, if you could see yourself through the eyes of God, you would see how loved you are. And now you got to start loving yourself that way. We all make mistakes. We all sin. But we have a God that loves us unconditionally. So no matter what you've done, do not allow evil to creep in and make you think that God will never forgive you. Don't allow that. No matter what you've done, your sins can be forgiven. Let go of that burden. Let go of it. Give it to God. Because demons want to keep piling it on. You're useless, you're worthless, God's not going to love you, you're a sinner, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. The demons like to pile this weight on your chest. And it's almost to the point you can't breathe. I want you to take that weight and I want you to throw it at God's feet and let God wash it away. Reject it. Don't allow demonic entities or evil trying to make you or manipulate you or tell you that you're anything less than priceless. Okay? All right. Let's add, well, it's already 6. Oh gosh, it's already 8:46. Holy moly, it just went by fast, didn't it? Yeah, I understand that. Okay. So, well, first of all, for those of you who are on TikTok, for those of you who have liked the video, oh my gosh, 188,000 likes there on TikTok. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. I appreciate that. Would you answer a question? I certainly will, but you have to answer. You have to ask it quickly. That way, I'll try to answer it. Oh, okay. That's let's see. Yeah, I know it's scrolling fast. It's kind of hard to catch them. No, I'm not against. No, why would I be against Islam? No, I have friends that are Islamic. I have friends that are pagans and Wiccans and conservatives and liberals. And are there good spirits? Well, yeah, there are. Yep. The Garden Angel Prayer. I don't understand. No. Guys, there's so many. Okay, there's so many. I don't know which one who asked the question. Demonic entities can possess, but it's a process to where it breaks down the intellect and will. So let me just say this very quickly. Let me explain it to you because it's important. Listen. Okay. There are 3 stages of possession: infestation, oppression, possession. I was friends with Lorraine Warren. I loved her. She was a sweetheart of a woman. Infestation, demonic is infested in your home. Religious objects are desecrated, the smell of sulfur, bangings, you clearly know something is evil that's in your home. Then it begins to attack whatever victim, whatever it's going to, maybe the accidental invitation that they gave. Playing with Ouija boards, leave them alone. Now you're the target. It begins to attack you on a intellectual level, and a physical level. That's demonic, and that is demonic oppression, demonic obsession. Demonic obsession is when it begins to attack you intellectually. Demonic oppression is when it begins to physically attack you, bite you, pinch you, scratch you, causing you to be sleep deprived. It's affecting your will. It's affecting your ability to get sleep, to rest. Then it begins, you hear the demonic speak to you. It's trying to break down the intellect. When the intellect and will are eradicated, then you have possession. That's the stages of possession. So that is what, someone said something about deliverance. A deliverance is performed over someone when you have a demonic oppression, a demonic attachment. That's not the same thing as like the solemn rite of exorcism. The solemn rite of exorcism is performed on someone whose intellect and will is eradicated. They're no longer in control of their motor functions of the body, and the demonic then enters the body and controls. That's now you've gone to the stage where the demonic has control of the body. Okay. So I hope that helps out. Yeah, please do me a favor and make sure you subscribe there on TikTok. I appreciate that. That is very, I studied for the Roman Catholic priesthood for 6 years. I received my the minor orders in the Roman seminary, and I studied with the Benedictines and the Jesuits. There. Okay. Yeah, I know there's so many questions like boom, boom, boom. TikTok, hold on for a second. I'll be with you guys in just 1 second because I got to wrap the show up. But I'm gonna stay for just a little bit longer with you guys. Okay, a little bit long. Just stay with me for just a second. For those of you who are on Spreaker, I'm going to say good night to you, and I hope that all of you have a beautiful, beautiful evening, and that I will see all of you very soon. Okay, for those of you who are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and of course on TikTok, remember, make sure you go to kgradb.com, kgradb.com, and subscribe. Put Bishop as your promo code. But I tell you this all the time, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. Remember, friends, you're priceless, and never let anybody convince you otherwise. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, kgradb. God bless.
The Sacred Division has been brought to you by Bishop Long's online paranormal course. Learn demonology, angelology, paranormal studies, and genealogy. It's 100% online, and you learn at your own pace. Please go to www.bishopjameslong.com and click on the paranormal course link.